Hello and thank you for watching Office Pro TV, helping you to learn wherever you go. I'm your host, Zach Memis, as we continue on with Excel 2016 Essentials. This is Proof, Print, and Page Layout, Part 2. There was a Part 1. If you haven't seen that, please do. And bringing us all this information that we need is the one and only Vaughn Smith. Hello, Vaughn.
Hi. Thank you. So
please help us. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Right? Yes, we're doing an encore.
Yes.
We're doing an encore to go into Part 2 of our page layout. We had done our proofing. We talked about printing. And we had done everything through the print layout or the print preview backstage view, and we went into the page setup dialog box. I kept mixing those up. And now I'd like to show you some different views and some other ways that you could do pretty much the same thing that we were just at in a different way.
Awesome.
The same but different. Take another path around Excel.
So many options in Excel.
There is. So why don't we jump back on down into the same file that we were working with before, and I'm going to jump over to another worksheet for this next example, because I like seeing it in the page or the print preview, because I see it as the page is actually going to be printed. So I prefer that way. And they also didn't really have these particular views back in the day when I was doing Excel and teaching it. So it's kind of like you get it in your patterns. And you get this is the way I go to it, even though no, go this way. No, I can still get to it this way. So it's all to each its own.
Options.
Definitely. We're going to come over here to our View tab. And on our View tab, we have our Page Break Preview. Now, before I click it, just to show you and remind you, because we did go over this a little bit in some of our introductions, to where if I zoom out of here, no, that's the wrong way. Let's go ahead and zoom out. I'm seeing this normally, and I can see all the grids and the guides, and it's just a big old spreadsheet. Now, these little dots that are coming along, by the way, these little dotted lines, those are your page breaks. Because remember, as soon as you go into a print preview and you come back to normal view, you will always see where it's dividing this up. You're like, well, but I wasn't on this worksheet. But we had chose that to change. We did that into the workbook, show workbook of what to be printed. So that's why we have them. Okay, so just to remind you about that. And if I go into the page layout, wrong one, this is the one I want to tell you about. Look at this. It actually shows you each area or each page that you're going to see. Let me zoom out on this a little bit more too, so you can see, okay, now I see where they're going. That's really zoomed out. But it's kind of like Word. In Word, you have, okay, here's the page, and then you see where each header and footer lives. And so you could change everything from here. It's just another way of looking at it. So if I wanted to add a header, and notice there is 1, 2, 3. There's 3 different places in here. If I click on the left-hand side, and let's, I won't zoom in just yet, but notice that I get a contextual tab that comes up. All those little buttons that we saw in the insert or doing the header and footer, where we could insert the date or insert the file path or any of things like that, they're all up here too. They're just a little bit bigger, and they actually give you the name. So if I wanted to put in the current date and then click over to the right and put in the file path, that's what I want. I can then go to the footer from here, and then I could choose to insert the number of pages. I should actually put in front of that, I should put page and then number of pages. And then if I close out of this, and how do I get out of the header and footer? If you just click into another area of the document, or in this case the spreadsheet, then it takes that contextual tab away, and I can see, I actually kind of changed that number wrong, sorry, that was a little messed up, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that out, and then I can come into these drop downs. Remember those drop downs that give you those defaults? I can choose page 1 of, and then it changes there. And now if I click off of, these are not connected. I could come in and change my margins to do a wide margin. I could change the page orientation to landscape. Again, if I could do this all in normal view, So I could come and change all of these different options. It's just that in normal view, if I went and changed that to portrait versus landscape or change the margins, you're not seeing anything. Because it's in normal view, you're not going to be doing that page layout. So those are the two, that's why they kind of correlate together. If you want to see it, go over into that page layout view and you can change or see all the changes you're making in that page layout tab. And you could change the size of your paper and so on and so forth. And there's a couple other things that are in this particular tab that you don't really see in the page setup dialog box in the print preview. You can put a background image on there. Now you don't have the same flexibility of putting in like a watermarked image like you have in Word. Because if I wanted to put a background and let's go onto a file on my computer, which we got to put Fuego in his cute little hat.
Ah.
Oh, God, that's a little, like, he's all over the place, right?
He's in cells.
Yes, I can't really scale it. I can't do, like, the transparency of it. So this is where it doesn't have all of the same flexibility as Word and things like that. But I do now have delete background because sorry, Mr. Fuego Pants, you got to go. So we're going to take him out. And there's a few other ones, and we'll talk about print titles and print areas in just a second. But one thing that is a good one is right over here, the print grid lines. Remember back in the format of, I think it's format of workbook, we talked about shading and borders, to where I remember people would say, like, it's not showing me the borders, not showing me like the grid lines, and I'm like, oh, because if I do a file print, you're not seeing the divisions of where the cells are, where the columns and rows intersect. So I said, oh, just go ahead and throw on some borders. But in this sense, you could actually print the grid lines. If I just choose this option.
I was going to ask that too. Can you print the grid lines?
Well, there you go. Look
awesome.
at that.
Very nice.
You can. And if I do a file or Control P, now I'm seeing that I do actually see the division. So
That's
it doesn't
fantastic.
always have to be put the borders on it. Just tell it to print the grid lines, and that's where you could go.
That's all you have to do.
And since we're right here in the print preview, I do want to show you can do it from that dialog box in the page setup. In the page setup, it's on the sheet tab, and right there it's in the print. So this isn't like a specific, like you can only get to it on that particular page layout tab. You can get to it. I just didn't point that out because I think the checkbox is a little easier to see in that page layout tab of print grid lines. And you can also print the headings if you wanted to. You could put in those columns like A, B, C, and then like the rows and everything, so you can change that there. Great. So different place to find the same things. If you like the page layout view, you could do that. Or if you like the normal view, you could do it that way and changing all your different options. Now, on this page layout, there's two things. There's the print area. We haven't talked about that one. We did talk about print selection, where if I selected this amount of information and then did a Control P or a file print, I could choose it to print the selection and then do my scaling if I needed to where I want to fit all the columns on there and everything fits. Cool. But there is something known as a print area. Now, a print area is something that you're locking it down. Like you don't want it to you don't want to change the options. If I select this amount of space and then go to print area and set this as my print area, it defines that. It actually puts it in the name box right here. This is the print area.
Ah.
I'm going to click off to here. I'm going to go over to File. I'm going to go to Print. And notice that, well, this is still on selection. If I choose Active Sheets, oh, that's not the active sheet, is it? It's the print area. Yes, it's the print area that I told it to be. So this is like, it's an overriding setting that's like, anytime that I'm on this sheet, this is the area that you're going to print, always. And that's why in this drop-down, there's an option now for, well, no, I don't want that print area. I want to ignore it. So if you do have set print areas, you need to make sure that you know how to turn it off if you don't want it to be there within the print dialog or the print preview, and then you can ignore it.
Fantastic.
The other thing is if you don't want that to be in there anymore, like stop designating this area, in that drop down, now you can see, oh, Now I can clear it. Or if you needed to add more information into that, you could go ahead and select it and add to the print area. So I'm going to go ahead and clear it, and now I've taken all those settings out. So that's what a print area is in Excel. Now, print titles, I love these things. I will show you. If I do a file print preview, you know what? Sorry, let me change a few things. I'm going to turn off the grid lines because they're a little distracting. And I will now do a print preview here. I'm going to just zoom the page in a little bit, and I can see that everything's fitting right now because I have all my columns on one page. Okay, well that's good. Okay, and this is my active sheet. So if I scroll on down, this is all this. Well, you know what? This shouldn't all fit. Let's try this again. So we have here. We're going to. Well, let me clear out the print area. The page size is the letter. All right. So we've got that. Oh, I know what it is. So I'm like, why is it fitting on the page? I thought I made this to have enough information to not fit on the page.
Just trying to help you.
It is. The reason is because I have it in the portrait view. There we go. I put this to landscape. There we go. There's my second page down there. I'm like, wait, I thought I planned this out this way. Gotta flip it. Because I do want to be able to print it landscape, but in this sense, I can see that if I scroll on down to get to the next page, here I have that heading that goes across. I want that to stay as my title when I print out the next page.
Ah, very good.
Yes, this is what a print title is all about. I'm going to cancel out of that. I would like this row to repeat on every printed page because I might have 40,000 entries and I want to be able to print them all out. Keep that as my recurring heading that goes across all of it. Where do you get to do that? I think it is easiest to do it in one, you need to be in the normal view. And two, don't do it in the print preview. Do it here in normal in the page layout tab. Okay? Print preview doesn't work as well because you do need to determine I want this row. And it could be multiple rows. It doesn't have to be just one because maybe you have two rows that are your headings. You go into print titles and notice here the print titles, rows to repeat at top. Now you could also have the columns to repeat if you're printing it out that way, but I would like to and once I get it selected, notice that it puts in $1 through $1. This is saying repeat always. That's the absolute value. That's the number sign, or sorry, the dollar sign. One row, row 1 through row 1. So if you had it through like 1 and 2, you could go ahead and then click, hold, and drag down. That I want that. That's what I want to repeat at the top. I do a file Control P, and if I go over to the second page, there you go. Now I have those titles on each page. This is one that I remember.
That's great.
Yeah, showing people like, I've been wanting to do this for so long, but I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's a print title. Awesome.
And it centers it for you too. I mean it's in line.
With yes, with
the column.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is column A.
Right.
This is column B. This is column C. So it's staying because it is that particular column.
Perfect.
The last thing I want to talk about are the page breaks. I have here, I was going to go, I didn't sort it right. Okay, I'm going to do a jump ahead just a little bit. I'm going to sort this by team color. Now, very quickly, to do a sort, you click in the column that you want to sort by. You don't have to select everything. Okay, if I go over here to home and I go to the right-hand side, I almost said the left, where we want to sort it A to Z, you click it and it sorts everything. And everybody's like, the whole thing, the whole contiguous range did not just sort that one column, it sorted all of it. Whew. So in this team colors, you see it goes blue, then green, then red, then yellow. if I print this, it's just going to go ahead and make my automatic page breaks. I want it to break at every change in team color. So team blue is on one page, team green is on another page. So I need to manually say break the page here. Couple ways to do this. I know that right here, blue is row 17, so that's the last row on page 1. Row 18, this is where I want to start my new page. That's where I want the page break to do. So if you select the row and then go to your page layout, go to breaks and say insert page break, I have put in, I'm going to click off to it, I know that there's a page break there because there's a solid line across, not a dotted line. The dotted lines are the automatic page breaks. So I'm saying break here. Awesome. Let's scroll on down. The other thing is you don't have to actually select the row. If I select here, this cell I-34, because I know that this is the new place where I would like to have my page start. So you always have to say, like, this is the start of the page. Also, the way to think about it is like the page break is going to go above it. So either way you want to think of it, get that, click on the break, insert page break, and it's going to do that. You don't have to select the whole row. And then if I do a file Control P, notice that over here, there's blue, and then if I go to green, now red and yellow are together right now because I haven't done the other page break, because I want to show you another way, yet another way, of making your page breaks. You can go into Page Break Preview. I do like this one because it gives you a little bit more visual recognition, if you want to say, of where I want these to go. Do my Page Break Preview. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can go down. We'll go to like 50. Well, maybe we'll go a little smaller, so let's go ahead and zoom out there. So you can see that I've got all the information, and everywhere where there's a blue line, whether it's manual or automatic, I can go ahead and drag it. You can barely see it, but there are 2 pointed arrows when I hover over those like thick blue lines, and I can pull this down to break the pages where I want them to be broken. Because maybe I want to kind of like distribute it equally, like in 3 instead of 4 pages or 2 pages. I can change it there. I can see that I've got one there. It's kind of hard to see like where my teams break. I can kind of see it there. But now again, I'm back into here where I need another page break. I can still go ahead and select the cells and insert the page break here to get another one, and it could just be random. It wouldn't even have to be like where I want where the information stops, because I can visually change where this goes, and now I can move them up and down. So I really like Page Break Preview. It shows me everything, and I can adjust it as I need to.
That is wonderful.
Like that. I'm going to go back to normal for now, because what if I did all these page breaks and now it's like, I don't like that. Can we just go back to just automatically breaking the page where Excel sees like this is the stop of page 1, page 2, and so on and so forth? Because when you make page breaks, manual page breaks, you can also clear them.
Oh, wonderful.
You can clear them one at a time, or you can clear them all together. In the Page Layout tab in the breaks, notice it does say reset all page breaks. Okay, that would, well, remove all of them. They're going to reset everything. But if I didn't want this particular page break, let's say like between the green and the red, as long as you put your cursor somewhere in a cell that it indicates the next page, you could remove and watch that solid line, especially over here. If I remove the page break, see, then it goes away. And then it goes back to just using the default automatic with the dots.
Right.
So that's it, taking one specifically out versus taking all of them out and letting it reflow and paginate as it needs to see, like based on my margins and based on my orientation, my portrait versus my landscape, and taking all that into account and be able to print that out. So that, I believe, yep, covers everything that I think you could do. There's probably another way of doing something, because there's always multiple ways that I might not have covered. But those are all the ones that I have used and I've used frequently, and hopefully have shown you something to where you've attached yourself to and be like, I'm going to do it that way. And now you know how to control your page layout.
Vaughn, you're a wonderful teacher. And proof, print, page layout, and that is Excel 2016 Essentials. This was part 2. There was a part 1. Make sure you watch that and watch every single video in the Excel 2016 Essentials library. You'll be so glad you did. And thank you for watching Office Pro TV. Remember, a good Office Pro is always learning. I'm Zach Memis.
And I'm Vaughn Smith.
And we'll see you very soon.